Well, hello everyone. This is Fabienne, and I am joined by Melinda Hereford. Melinda, welcome.
Thank
Tell us
you.
about you and your business.
Yeah, Fabian, so nice to be here with you. I'm from Lincoln, which is near Sacramento, and I have been running a management consulting business, specializing in dentists for since 1986.
Wow, yeah, that's been a while. And you and I have known each other that we're going on our fourth year of
We
of
are.
being together, and I would love for you to talk about what your business was like. It's not like this was a business that was started 2 years ago, right? You've been in business for some time. You've been successful, and yet you came up against some chronic challenges and obstacles. What was it like before we got to know each other?
Yeah, it's a great question. And so really became a consultant. I specialized in the one-to-one consulting relationship, or, one to a business, basically. And I was trained in that, and I just grooved that out. And the truth is, I really um, didn't I was really trapped in that model for many, many years. And so I think the struggles for me were really like, this is the only way to do it. And so I was working really hard. And when you work one to one, as you know, Fabian, you hit capacity fairly early because there's so much delivery, and there's that it becomes consuming. So that the balancing program design with delivery, with getting new clients, I mean, that was just a full-time job for me, and I was
Yeah.
super locked into not spending the money for having any support. And that was really
Mm.
before virtual assistants became, a thing. But I just really like didn't want to spend the money. It was all about my bottom line, and it was just about working as hard as I could possibly work. And then I take on more clients, because you know how that goes, right? You want to grow, but then delivery suffered because I could only really kind of go on the surface with my clients versus go deeper. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's almost like this uh, tug of war between I want to have my life if I'm listening between the lines, but I want to grow and make money, but I don't want to. I've heard women say this before, but I don't want to tap into my profit margin too much because I'll shoulder it myself. We do this a lot as women.
We
I'll
do.
multitask. I'll do this, that, and the other so that I don't have to spend the money. And I feel like this is a place that many people are at. So I want to grow. I feel like I deserve to make more and help more people, but it's yeah, it's not happening. So you were where I don't if you're open to sharing about where your revenues were before, and if you're not comfortable, that's fine too. But just to show the gap between what that type of mindset was, like I'll do everything myself. I'm not going to invest in my team, and what your revenues were back then. Are you comfortable sharing that or
Yeah,
not
sure. I'll
really?
share. I mean, I think it's useful. I mean, I've had a 40% increase in my income.
Wow.
And the truth is I've done a lot in my business with that 40% is the truth.
Mm,
And I have
mm,
definitely invested. And I've gone from maybe months of 16 to 20 to months of 30 to 35.
amazing.
And 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 now, though, what I will say is I have a model to exponentially change the way I deliver. And that really is from being inside the program. I didn't even have a thought about how to do that. So, it's I think what I've done is invest in my business so that
Mm.
I can really have a lot more reach.
Tell me from a doing everything myself. to now leveraging different aspects of your business, what are the aspects of your business that you have begun leveraging and that are creating that dramatic
Yeah.
increase in results?
I remember when I came to mindset, I really was like, I'm not going to add a team. I'm not going to add a team. I'm like, this is, I had a whole mindset about, that. And so, I have added a team and it's been like the best thing that I could think of. It's just amazing. So, I have shifted to a hybrid model of one to many and still
Mm,
do a lot of one to one. But I now have a team that shares that one to one model. So I'm able to have way more impact because
mm,
of the program design changes that I've made. And so, it's like going from just can't deliver one more thing to now, wow. I mean, it's just phenomenal, Fabienne, the changes that I've made. And I don't know, I don't know if this is the place, but it's like I went from not having a sales model at all, no sales, no sales line, not really having formal programs. I would just sign, every client would kind of get a different deal. And I would always be afraid to charge more because it's like, it would always be about that. And, and no formality to how I did it. Everything was one off. So you can imagine how
mm.
stressful that was, right? It was super stressful. And when it would come time, I'd get a referral for another client. I would just really like, oh my gosh, can I do another client? Right. So now it is entirely different. And it really is from the recipe. So I don't know if do you want me to talk about that? Or are we at that place where you want me to talk about that?
I think I would love for the people who are listening today, I would love for them to see how specifically you've made changes to your business model. So you said you've leveraged your team, which has allowed you to leverage your business model so it doesn't depend on solely on you anymore. What is it about this concept of leverage that you've been learning about within Bold Heart that has you said that has you say, I'm going to deliver differently? What changes did you make specifically to your programs and offerings where it was customized for everybody before?
Oh, that's awesome. This is just a great question. And in Bold Heart, we say it's following the recipe. So it really was, I followed the recipe. So the way I started in Bold Heart was in Boldly Close a Sale. Because as I told you, I didn't have a sales process. And that was like life changing because in Boldly Close a Sale, I identified my ideal client. I identified my programs. I identified a sales process. I had a follow-up process and that increased my confidence so much, right? That clarity is huge. It's like, oh, okay. Well, now I actually know who I'm looking for. I do have a program. And then it became easier to hire a team, like a support team. Because then now it's like, okay, now I have a support team, and that was fundamental. Having my first VA was fundamental to me being able to leverage, because you can think all of these things, but when you're busy delivering, you don't have time to go develop this stuff. So I hired an amazing virtual assistant who really has been my partner in these changes. So I would say, these are the things we're going to do. And she would create the systems. We moved into Asana. That was a way that we managed the way we did our tasks. I have a learning management system, an LMS. We recorded, we redesigned all my programs, but recorded all my programs. One of the things that was fatiguing is like delivering the same program over and over and over. so fatiguing, right? So, so now it's like, it's the whole thing is recorded. It's in my LMS. I send people there to learn, and then we do Q&A. And so I have a sales process, I have programs, I have a client journey, right? And like I formally know the client journey. And that really that's a big piece of, of the Bold Heart process is, where are you taking your clients and what is distinct about you? So now I have like my proven process. It's not the same as every other management consultant. It's my proven process. And then I also hired a team. And so so I have an internal team and an external, a client facing team. And that client facing team has been magical because it allows me to have way more impact with each client. So, part of consulting, Fabian, as you know, you go deliver your program, but people don't do it just because you just delivered it. They don't do it, right?
There
So
has to be a certain level of accountability.
absolutely, right. And that's one of the things that's really a big piece of Bold Heart that's been so beautiful is there's like lots of levels of accountability. And so, of course I've learned so much by watching the program, but by watching all these women in their own businesses create amazing results. So that accountability piece was a missing ingredient in my program. And so I would deliver and hit the road and then come back, and they, of course, hadn't done anything. And so that doesn't feel good. So now I actually have a team that actually now goes, and I have a whole follow-up team, and it's like an accountability team. And then we also I have masterminds. My hybrid is I have masterminds with the owner doctor, and I have masterminds with the leaders, and I have masterminds with the team members. So we have 3 different, groups that we deliver to, and my team delivers to the leaders and the team members, and I do really the strategic work with the owners. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's such the story of what we do here in leverage to create this leveraged business, because many of the women come in just like where you were, shouldering everything, doing everything themselves, it being like the Melinda show, or it used to be like the Fabienne show, right? It was like me, like gigging. And if I didn't work, I didn't get paid, right? Probably same with you a few years ago. And now all of a sudden, it's not the Melinda show. It is an entity outside of yourself. It's a process-driven company, not an individual-driven company. It's got documentation. I think I'm translating what you're saying. Yeah. It's got documentation. It's got processes. There is this client journey. You're having all these different layers that help people get results without you, Melinda, being responsible for the hand-holding and the spoon feeding. So people are getting results from your process and your people. They still get access to you, but it's all not dependent on you anymore.
Isn't that beautiful? That's so beautiful.
It's amazing.
It's beautiful.
It's amazing.
Incredible. The truth is you're able to affect and change so many more lives versus the one-off scenario. I mean, there's a whole ego thing in that one-off scenario, but the truth is when you're able to identify what really is the process, because if you've been doing what you've been doing for a while, you do have a process, but you have to name it. You have to name it. You have to identify what it is, and you have to like kind of tease it out. It is there, but then when it's there, then you actually can have people help you. It's just exquisite, right? It's exquisite.
And what's really great is that I've met women in the past who have worked 20, 30, 35 years to build a business, but because it isn't leveraged, because there is not much documentation, no systems, their process isn't labeled, it's not become this methodology that can live outside of them. When they decide that they've had enough or that they want to retire, they close down their business. Instead of being in a place where, what we talk about at Bold Heart all the time, it is, can I build a business and sell it for millions? Well, the answer is yes. And at the end of your career, you can decide to sell it for millions. You can decide to be a silent investor in your own business and have other people run it and other people deliver, other people doing the marketing while you continue to collect a paycheck for the rest of your life. You can pass it on to other people. And this is the key, is that I'm so very proud for you. You've been able to just follow the recipe, like we say, show up, follow the recipe, make these changes. You don't make the changes in a weekend. You're not making these kinds of changes in 12 weeks. It takes, no, it's not thinner thighs in 30 days. We're going to take a couple years to put this in place, but then you gain your freedom. Then you help more people. Then you have an easier way to make good money for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you.
It's what really is, that really is business, right? So I think we become entrepreneurs, and then it's the entrepreneur show. It's our one band, one man band, one woman band. And there's some ego in that. But really, when you think about a business is leverage. It's leverage. Leverage is a business, right? It's not, you don't leverage the human being, you leverage the business. And so it does provide for incredible, freedom, making bigger impact. So right now, Fabian, I'm in the place that I've been doing this a long time. Now I have a new long line of being able to do this longer, right? Because I won't be so burnt out and tired. And I'll have choices, right? I'll have all kinds of choices about how much or how little I want to participate. And I'm getting ready to go to be off 6 weeks to do the Camino de Santiago. And, that's what I want for the next 10 years. I want the freedom. I want my business. I love it. I love having it. But I also want it to run when I go do stuff, because I want to go do some stuff. And so that's the beauty, is that, because it's a proven process, because there's documented systems, because I have a team, because of the learning management system, my curriculum is all in there. It's like I can leave and my clients will still be served, probably even better while I'm gone than when I'm here, because I'm going to make up do some extra stuff. But how cool is that? How cool is that?
Did you think 5 years ago that you could take 6 straight weeks off from your business and have it continue to run and continue to make money and not even check in? Like, you're not going to check in every day from the Camino. You're going to enjoy this life-changing experience. Did you think that was possible 5 years ago?
Had no idea. And Fabian, the truth is, I was so bound up by fear and anxiety and just keeping the thing, bolted onto the road, that it was like a day-to-day consideration. I mean, I was fine, right? I was earning a living, but really it was not a concept about how to do that, not a thought about that. And the truth, one of the things that happens in Bold Heart is, there's a lot of mindset shifting, because that's really what makes you more effective in your business. And you encourage that. It's a big part of the program. And so I have had abundant mindset shifts, and which have made me less anxious, less afraid, more confident, trust myself more. It's just incredible.
You've essentially turned into a different person in the best way possible, from a person who was probably white knuckling her business and her life,
Yeah.
using your words, anxious and fearful, to now confident. You know where you're going. You go towards where you're going with bravery and courage, and you're reaping the rewards and the benefits. I have to say, one of the things, many things I admire about you is that you show up and you follow the recipe, and you're always there looking for the one elegant idea that's going to transform your business that week, that month, that quarter, that year. I see you really enjoying the program. What are the aspects of the program that you feel are the most helpful for you? Is it the activators, the community, the accountability, the weekly coaching? What is it? What is it that you gain the most value from?
Yeah, the activators are that's the roadmap. So, the roadmap's been super useful for sure. And I really see that like the grounding cord, like that's the piece to come back to go, okay, where am I and what is next? So the activators have been super fundamental for, that's how I know what the roadmap is. And I think the next thing for me, I mean, it's kind of, there's a lot of value. So I think the next thing is the community, and watching women and listening to women make amazing changes in their business week after week after week. And so that's why, showing up for those calls for me, even if I don't ask questions, it really has been so inspirational because those stories stick inside you, and they've helped me make changes that I wouldn't have made on my own. 100%. So, just listening to story after story. And when I have, because we all have days that are harder than others, when I have down days, it's like, okay, let me just go listen to some AB sessions or some Q&A sessions. And it is always uplifting because it's like, oh, okay, I could do this, or I could do, it's like solutions, right? Things that people are doing that are successful, and they're building their businesses even far greater than I've built my business. And it's like just inspirational. So the community's huge. The AB piece is phenomenal for me. That has been just part of my person. It really suits my personality. Those daily calls, and I have daily ABs, I have weekly ABs, I have monthly ABs. It's one of just the beauties of all these amazing smart women that are in the program, and this AB structure of supporting each other. So
If you're listening and you don't know what AB is, it's your accountability buddy, a big part of our program here. I'm loving what you're saying, Melinda. As we wrap up, what's next for you? Where will you be? Let's say we're checking in again with each other like this, and in 12 to 18 months to 24 months, where is your business going? You're on the trajectory to seven figures. Where will it be at that time?
yeah, you talk about that, Fabian. 7 figures and 12 weeks off. Okay, so that's where I'm headed. I'm headed there. I'm headed there. And so, it's just really continuing to do the piece. I'm going to have piece by piece all clearly lined out. And, I think what we would be talking about is the robustness of my one to many model, and how that's so serving my clients and the results that they're getting. So the impact is great, and my freedom is also there. And, having a bigger team that will be doing that delivery, because I just, the lives that we can change is abundant. And I really I want to get out there and do that.
Yeah, and you will. And so it is.
And so it
Thank
is.
you. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your really inspiring, inspirational journey. You're not even. It's like there's so there you're on. It's like you're on the Camino to seven figures, and you're just on a part of it, and yet you've created more success, more leverage than most people who ever start their business. And I just want to say we're all championing you, we're all applauding you, and and the best is yet to come. Congratulations.
Thank you. And thank you, Fabienne. Really, thank you so much for creating a proven process that really creates this kind of change for us as entrepreneurial women. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, it's my deep pleasure. Thanks, Melinda.